welcome to KARD News. I'm your host, Quinn Bittner.
And I'm Caden Nygren. Let's start things off with Emma, who has a story on staff.
This year here at Boone Central, we've got some new staff members. Once again, we will be highlighting some of those new additions to our school. This week, we will be highlighting one of those new high school staff members, Mrs. Blanchard. What's your name and what do you do here at Boone Central?
I'm Mrs. Blanchard and I am the high school counselor.
What enticed you to work at Boone Central?
Well, this is my hometown. This is where I grew up. And so I actually shifting to a whole new profession in education. I've been a special education teacher for 25 years, and then the last 3 years I've been an administrator for special education students also. So this is just a whole new area of education that I'm happy and excited to work in.
What are some of your hobbies?
I love to read. I love to we go glamping, not really camping, because we have a really nice camper, but just to get away from everything and enjoy my family.
Where did you graduate high school from?
I graduated from Albion High in 1992.
What are you looking forward to this year?
I'm just looking forward to learning this new position and building relationships with kids and families, staff, just getting to really know what Boone Central is all about and how I can help and support students here.
Do you have any goals for the school year?
First of all, just to learn what the heck I'm supposed to be doing, so to make sure I don't drop any balls, if that makes sense. And then also just to build relationships and make people feel comfortable with me, since this is a profession where I have to build relationships and I want people to feel comfortable talking to me about whatever they need and whatever I can help them with.
Do you have any advice for the students this year?
Students. Maybe just work on finding ways to be true to yourself. And I know that's really hard in high school because you're trying to figure out who you are and what you want to do, what you want to become. And so sometimes that can be difficult, but just honoring yourself and making yourself kind of announcing who you are to the world in a way that works for you.
Thanks, Emma.
And now to Ashlyn for a story on 9/11.
Last Sunday marked the 21st anniversary of the 9/11 attacks on the United States. The effects of these attacks continue to be felt across America. Airline security will never be the same. The family of victims will never be the same. The mental and physical health of those present will never be the same. And the country had united against terrorism like never before. I had the chance to interview several people from the Albion community and discuss how the events of 9/11 impacted them. So you were not alive when 9/11 took place.
No.
So where has most of your knowledge about 9/11 come from?
Mostly school. Family members have told me a lot about it, as well as teachers and coaches.
How much do you discuss 9/11 in your classes?
Miss Olson and Mr. Zuhad do a really good job of going over it and showing videos. Mr. Supp always shows a bunch of videos and tells his story as well.
Do your parents remember where they were on 9/11?
My mom, she was at work and she remembers hearing it on the radio, and her and her coworker went outside to the lobby and everyone was in the commons area watching it on TV.
Does your dad remember?
I think he was just outside, like on the farm. I don't think he really knew what was going on until Mom got home.
Why do you feel it is important to remember the events of 9/11?
Just because it's an important part of our history, and it kind of makes us, instills a sense of pride in our country and just doing a good job to protect us and highlighting the freedoms that we have as Americans.
Has 9/11 played a role in your sense of patriotism?
I would say so. I think it makes you feel like you are genuinely free in this country and you can do whatever you want to do and still be happy, and makes you feel like you really belong in this country.
Do you have any family stories about 9/11 that you'd like to share?
So we have a family friend, his name is Bill Shriver, and he and my grandpa actually flew their personal plane to Illinois that morning, and they got a transmission over the radio saying that they had to land immediately, and they landed in like a small town outside of Chicago. They went there for a farm sale, and they had to stay there like 2 days before they drove home, and Ron Levander actually flew them back to Chicago. So.
Where were you on September 11th, 2001?
I was a senior at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. You want to know like specifically?
Yes.
Got up and was having breakfast with my roommates, and we were watching it on the news. And I remember quite specifically I had Dr. Rada's life insurance class that day. And I just wanted to stay home and watch the news, but definitely had to go to Dr. Rada's class.
What was your immediate reaction when you heard the towers fell?
When I heard they fell, well, just disbelief that it could happen. When I heard they were hit, we thought it was an accident at first, and my roommates and I were watching TV while having breakfast, and we thought it was like an amateur pilot who hit the first tower. Then we saw the second one, but when they fell, it was just we couldn't disbelief.
How did your community come together following the 9/11 attacks?
One of the things I remember most about the 9/11 attacks is the incredible sense of unity with everyone from every walk of life and every political persuasion. I don't know that I can really recall specifics, but I remember like everyone was pulling the same direction, and it was a very good feeling of unity.
Did this impact your sense of patriotism?
I would say it definitely increased my sense of patriotism, especially since I had friends in the armed services, and I knew that they would probably have to deal with this.
Why do you feel it is important to remember the events of 9/11?
I think it's important to remember the heroism of the first responders, but also I would like our country at some point to be able to stop the divisiveness and try to remember some of that feeling of unity and try to think about what we could accomplish if we all work together.
Do you have any personal stories about 9/11 you'd like to share?
Probably my favorite memory and the thing that sticks out most was going to the Nebraska-Rice football game, and they changed the tunnel walk to honor first responders, and it was a surreal feeling to be in the stadium because at the time they never played games on Thursdays ever, so the game was rescheduled from the previous Saturday to this Thursday, and it was a very emotional experience when the doors opened and it wasn't the team, it was the American flag and representatives from fire department, law enforcement, and armed services.
Thanks, Ashlyn. And now we'll go to Taylor on Be Real.
Have you been hearing a lot about Be Real lately? Be Real is a French social media app that was released in 2020. After a couple of years of relative unimportance, it gained popularity rapidly in early and mid-2022. Be Real is the simplest photo sharing app to share once a day your real life in photo with friends. Every day at a different time, everyone captures a photo within 2 minutes. Capture and post in time to discover what your friends are up to. And even if you are late to the party, you can still post a late picture to share with friends. The special Be Real camera is designed to take both a selfie and frontal photo simultaneously. You can comment on your friend's Be Real and chat with all of your friends as well. React on your friend's Be Real with a real emoji, which is a picture of your own emoji's representation. Be Real tracks your location at the moment of posting, so you can see where your friends are in the world and when they post. In the App Store, it has a 4.8 rating by 270,000 people, some calling it the new Instagram, but real, and without filters. On the App Store right now, Be Real is the #2 free app, trailing only behind the NFL app in likeness. I interviewed a few students in our school to get their take on the latest trend of 2022. Do you have Be Real?
Yes.
What do you love about Be Real? how real it is, and like if you're late, you can see that you're late and how many times you retake it to see how fake you're being. When is your favorite time for it to go off? Probably just when I'm doing something, like if I'm laying in bed. That's so boring. What is the craziest or coolest thing you were doing in one of your B-reels? When we were in Chicago for National FBLA, it went off right as we were crossing the bridge, so I got a really cool picture of a selfie of Madison, Avery, and I walking across the bridge in Chicago. Do all of you have B-reel?
Yes.
What do you guys love about B-reel?
I like how it, like, I don't know, 'cause a lot of people are fake sometimes, so it, like, shows when you're really doing something. I don't know.
What is your favorite time for it to go off?
When I was in school,
What is the craziest or coolest thing you were doing in one of your B-reels?
when we were at a football game and we were all dressed up in red, white, and blue. And that was when I was in Olsen's room. Probably farming.
Thanks, Taylor. Now on to a fun story with Quinn and Caden. Hi, I'm Caden Nygren. Me and my partner Quinn Bittner had requested people to try our elderberry jam, and this is their reaction.
Is it yummy?
It's not too bad. It's a little tart, but it's not too bad.
I thought so.
About the same thing?
Yeah.
Are the berries? That's what's crunchy in there?
Yeah, that's the crunchy. Or it might be the seeds.
Okay.
Would you eat it? Would you spread it on your toast?
Probably would. We've never had
Yeah,
elderberry
okay, we
before.
succeeded then. Good job, Caden. Good
Hi.
job.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.
You too.
Would you like to try some elderberries?
I would give it a shot. Elderberries?
Yeah, it's elderberry jam. Put some sugar, some apple cider, I believe it's
the
called.
apple.
Yeah, apple's definitely in there.
It's good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Would you put it on like your toast every morning, or?
I think an English muffin, a toasted English muffin with a little butter, and that would pair really nicely with that.
Yeah, I would definitely, I would replace it with my jelly, my peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Oh, what would be really good with peanut butter? That'd be a good call.
Indeed. But thank you for trying our elderberry
bet.
jam.
It was good. You should sell it.
You can try it now. Yummy?
Yeah, it's really good actually.
Would you spread it like on your toast every morning?
Every morning.
What about like replacing it with peanut butter?
What about peanut butter?
Would you put it on would you put this instead of jelly on your peanut butter and jelly sandwiches?
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's good.
It's like crunchy.
Would you suggest, yeah, those are either the seeds or the berries themselves.
I like it.
That's good. That's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now a story on Husker Sports with Kaylee.
The crazy events with Husker Sports. Today I interviewed a few students and a teacher about how they feel.
Mr. Harris, PE teacher?
What are your thoughts about Husker volleyball team?
They're really good. They're fun to watch and have a lot of good talent.
What are your thoughts about the football team?
Well, unfortunately, Scott Frost hiring didn't work, but hopefully we can see some progress moving forward.
How do you feel about Scott Frost being fired?
I think it's the right choice. It's a good time now with Oklahoman coming to town and not all the speculation about whether he's going to keep his job. So I think it's actually really smart to do it when they did.
Do you think the team will improve now that Frost is gone?
I think there's some things that need to be fixed, and hopefully they can get them corrected and have a better season moving forward.
All right, thank you.
I'm Colin Rasmussen. I'm a junior.
I'm Keaton Hunt. I'm a junior.
What are your thoughts about the Husker volleyball team?
I hear they're pretty good. I think they lost the other night against Stanford, so I guess they're pretty trash.
I think they're pretty good still.
Okay. What are your thoughts about the football team?
They're dog water.
I agree.
What are your thoughts about Scott Frost being fired?
My thoughts are it was a good decision for Trev Alberts, but now we have the first black coach in history of all Nebraska sports.
I think it might help, but I don't think it will help.
Do you think the football team will improve now that Frost is gone?
No.
No.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kaylee. Now we'll wrap it up with Lauren on One Act.
On this week's segment of KARD News, I interviewed Tanner Bald and Mrs. Weezy to get their take on this year's One Act.
My name's Tanner Bald. I'm a senior, and I play the Duke in this year's One Act.
What are your goals for this season?
Well, this season, we'd really like to make state. We've been runner-up at districts the past 2 years, so state is the goal.
What made you decide to join One Act?
Well, I don't know. I've done it. This is my 4th year doing it, and I just really enjoy it. I enjoy being on stage.
What's this year's One Act about?
So this year's One Act, it's about this flapper set in the 1920s. It's about a flapper who is turning 18, and she's getting this diamond that's been passed down from like generations, and then there's a bunch of people trying to steal it and stuff.
Hello, I'm Mrs. Weezy. I'm the director at Green Central.
What are your goals for this season?
My goals for this season are to create a show within a half an hour that our kids can entertain an audience as well as make them feel some warm fuzzies too.
What made you decide to coach One Act?
I was always active in drama in high school and in college. I did a little bit of that in each of those things, and I love speech and One Act and entertaining people, so that is what made me excited about teaching or coaching One Act.
What's this year's One Act about?
This year's One Act is a 1920s period piece in which you've got some gangsters and some people who are posing as a Duke and Duchess from England to take advantage of a high society matron's money. So it's a little bit of scandal, it's a little bit of love, it's a little bit of fun. So
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Lauren, and that's all for this week. Make sure to turn in next time for KARD News Live.